She's my sister, but she's his wife. And that is something that I had to learn when having a relationship with my siblings as an adult. It had to be maybe 14 years ago. I was visiting my third oldest sister. I stopped by, we hung out, I hung out with the kids, and then afterwards I went home. So maybe a couple days after, I called her because I had something that I wanted to drop by. So I called her, and my phone call went to voicemail. I didn't think anything of it. Waited a few hours, I called her again. Phone goes to voicemail. So I called immediately again because this isn't like her. She eventually answered the phone. And then I said, hey, I have such and such and so and so. I want to drop it by the house. I'll be over there at, this time. To which she replies, I can pick it up later if that's okay. Now, this isn't like her. So I said, you know what, it's fine. Just tell me when a good time is to drop it by. She was silent for a moment. And then she said, this is hard for me to tell you. But the last time you were in my home, we felt very disrespected by you. And in fact, this is something that has gone on for a little while. So we're going to need you not to stop by. So, of course, I pressed. And she said, the last time you were here, you came into my home and you did not speak to my husband. Now, I wish I could tell you that I was mature and I handled this with grace, but I did not. I immediately went into justification. I immediately went into, we always do this, we live together, this is what we do, and all these other things. And then she had to politely end the call. Because the thing I didn't realize is we had grown up together. I've known her my entire life. And it never dawned upon me that maybe I didn't know her now. Maybe she had become somebody, or maybe she was always somebody that I failed to see because of our family dynamic. Although I had her past, if I wanted to be a part of her future, this was something that I was going to have to learn and respect. She set a boundary with me that I wanted violated because I wanted to keep things the same. I'm happy to report that me and my siblings are all close. We still talk to this day because we had to learn how to communicate with each other. And we had to love and respect each other for who we are today and not who we were. I hope this helps somebody.
Yo, that's good. Sometimes, sometimes you got to keep them out the house. I am all about boundaries. Listen, you got to have boundaries. And I'm a firm believer that if someone doesn't honor your spouse, if someone doesn't honor the order of your home, if someone doesn't honor your family, then they can't walk up in and be up in the space like I'm the only one there, or like you're the only one there. I'm all for it. I think the beautiful thing is that a couple of things. For one, they're all really she said all her siblings are still close. So obviously they've done some work and worked through it. The other part is that she was aware enough to receive the critique from her sister and say, hey, this is a boundary now, and aware enough to then do the work. I give kudos to her sister for saying, you disrespected us. When she said us, the husband and I, so she never detached herself from her husband. That's what you have to do when you're married. That's what you have to do when you're family or when you're close friends. Like when someone does something to people that you love, people that you honor, people that you protect, you have to make sure that the other person who done this offense understand what you did to them, you also did to me. You know what I'm saying? That's so important. It's so important. And one thing I've learned about people who are intentionally disrespectful, like it's one thing to be disrespectful and someone say, hey, listen, hey, next time, you're over, you gotta make sure you do this, 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 and this. And they be like, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. And they go and they apologize for not just to you who brought it up to them, but to the other people that were affected by it. That's humble, like that's humility. But when people want to continue in disrespect, like she said, she said she wished she could have told the story that she handled it with grace, but she began to like make excuses and stuff. When people want to continue in disrespect, they're going to make excuses. They're going to say, well, why are you making a big deal out of this? And why are you making a big deal out of that? It's always some sort of excuse. And the last thing they want to do is own it and apologize. But I'm happy that her sister was able to say, hey, listen, at the end of the day, I'm married now. There's a way that things ought to be handled because I'm married. It's how they say it, my man, my man, my man. You know what I'm saying? To a woman says to her husband, and the husband says to his wife, my wife, my wife, my wife, my lady, my lady, my lady. Because it's really the two of you becoming one in a covenant with God. And then if you have children, the children to be an addition to that. And anyone outside of that circle that's disrespecting that, they got to go. They have to go, you know, and it doesn't matter if it's family. It could be your own parents. The Bible says that a man should leave his mother and his father, or a woman, her mother and her father. And the two, when they get married, they become one. You know what I'm saying? This is not to say that you make waste of your relationships with your family and your parents. Like, no, you still to love them, care for them, and and have peaceable lives and enjoy them, make memories. But that's if it's possible and peaceful. If those relationships start to get in the way of a healthy marriage, you have to make a decision. This is your new family now. You know what I'm saying? So, but man, this is a beautiful story. It ended well. I'm happy to hear that. But I think the society we live in, there's this, the pendulum swings way too far, and people disrespect their spouses. Like, I'll hear stories about women saying, "Oh, that's my girlfriend. You know, she still come first. You know, if she say something, I'm gonna believe her." Da 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 da. And I hear guys like, "Oh, that's the homie. You know, that's my bro. He been my bro. He say something, then it's solid." Like, that tells me that there's more going on than just, you know, a challenge in marriage. You know, there's usually a lot more to that. But at the end of the day, when two people are married, no matter who is attacking their home, or should I say disrespecting their home, they got to get checked off top, because the husband and the wife and the children are family, and that must be protected. Those boundaries must be set. But again, how I said before, I've never been married, don't have any children, so I'm just giving surface level commentary. Some of y'all have been married, some of you all have children. You may have a different perspective. I'd love to hear what you have to say about it. Let me know what you think in the comment section, and I'll catch y'all in the next video.